We've all been there. You're working your job, grinding it out every day, just trying to make ends meet. You check your bank account and boom, there it is. The number you've been chasing for months, maybe even years. $10,000. $10,000. You feel like you've just hit the jackpot. You've never had this much money just sitting there, waiting for you. You're excited, maybe even a little bit giddy. It feels like freedom, doesn't it? Like a weight has been lifted off your shoulders. And then, the weirdest thing happens. After a few days, or maybe even just a week, you start to realize something. That $10,000, while exciting at first, doesn't feel like it did when you first saw it. It doesn't have the same weight anymore. You start wondering, wait, was that it? Is this all there is to it? Now, let me tell you a little story about myself. I'm one of those people who spends way too much time thinking about money, human behavior, and why some people can save, invest, and build wealth with ease, while others seem to hit a wall no matter how hard they try. I remember the first time I hit a financial milestone. It wasn't $10,000, but something similar. When I hit that number, I thought I'd made it. It was like the world opened up and handed me a key to financial freedom. But soon enough, that feeling started to fade, and I found myself wondering why I still felt anxious about money, even with that much sitting in the bank. That's when I started digging into the psychology behind it. I wanted to understand why money feels like it has so much power in the beginning, and then, eventually, it doesn't. What happened between that first high and the slow realization that, hey, it's just money? Well, here's the thing. The way we perceive money changes as we grow. And $10,000, while it might seem like a lot at first, feels drastically different once it's sitting in your account for a while. But here's the kicker. It's not about the money. It's about how our brains process and react to it. In this video, I'm going to take you on a little journey. We'll explore why $10,000 feels like $1 million when you first get it, and why that feeling fades away. But more importantly, I'm going to give you a perspective shift that could change the way you think about money forever. Trust me, this isn't just about numbers. It's about understanding the deep psychological pull that money has on us. So let's dive in. All right, let's start with the obvious. That moment when you first hit $10,000. You know exactly what I'm talking about. It's like a weight has been lifted off your shoulders. But why is that? Why does that number feel like such a big deal when you've been working so hard to get there? The truth is, $10,000 represents a kind of security, a buffer. It's the promise of not having to stress about small emergencies. It's a cushion that feels like it's going to solve everything. You could pay off some debt, start building savings, and even splurge a little, right? For many people, hitting that number is like passing a checkpoint in a video game. It's progress. It feels good. You've reached a milestone. But why does it feel like $1 million? I think it's because our brains aren't just thinking about the amount of money. We're thinking about what that money represents. It's the possibility of not having to worry about the small stuff for a while. It's the possibility of moving closer to the life you want. I've been there. I've felt that rush, and it's intoxicating. But that's where the real journey begins. So here's the kicker. After a while, that feeling starts to wear off. And you might start asking yourself, why does it feel like nothing has changed? You still have bills, responsibilities, and the same old routine. The only difference is, you now have $10,000 sitting in the bank. So what happened? Let me break it down for you. Adaptation. You see, humans are incredible at adapting to new circumstances. Whether it's a big paycheck, a new house, or even a relationship, the excitement that comes with something new doesn't last forever. It's just how we're wired. This phenomenon is called the hedonic treadmill. The basic idea is that we constantly adapt to the things that make us happy, and eventually, we need more to feel the same level of satisfaction. Think about it. When you first get $10,000, it feels huge. But after a few weeks, you get used to it, and it doesn't have the same impact anymore. You might even start feeling like it's not enough. which is kind of crazy, right? You start wondering, if $10,000 isn't doing it for me, what will? And the answer, unfortunately, is that the next milestone won't do it either. It's a cycle that many people get stuck in. The truth is, your perception of money and how much you need to be happy is constantly shifting. And that's okay. Now, I don't want to give you the impression that $10,000 is meaningless. It's still a significant amount of money. But here's the shift in perspective. It's not about the amount of money. It's about what you do with it. When you first get $10,000, you probably have a lot of ideas about what you want to do with it: pay off debt, invest, save for the future. But the longer that money sits in your account, the more likely it is that you'll start to spend it or feel like it's not enough. The key here is that how you use that money is what makes the difference. A few smart moves, whether that's investing in your future, paying down high-interest debt, or even saving for something meaningful, can turn that $10,000 into something far more valuable over time. So here's a trap that many of us fall into: the idea that once we hit $10,000, we need to keep going. We think that if we can just get to $50,000 or $100,000 or $1 million, we'll finally feel secure. We think that more money equals more happiness. But here's the thing: chasing more money without a plan is a fast track to dissatisfaction. I've seen it firsthand. People who hit that first milestone and think that the next big amount will be the key to their happiness. But money isn't the solution. It's the plan and how you align that money with your goals that matters most. So, instead of focusing on how much you have, start thinking about how you can use what you have wisely. Invest in yourself. Plan for the future. Make the money work for you. Let's talk about the psychology here for a second. That feeling of $10,000 feeling like $1 million, that's all in your head. Once you've experienced it, your brain adjusts and the feeling starts to fade. But that doesn't mean you're doomed to a life of financial dissatisfaction. In fact, this is a crucial moment for growth. You've learned that money doesn't solve everything, but it can be a tool. It's about taking that next step, realizing that it's not about chasing the high of a specific number, but about using money to create the life you want. And that's where the magic happens. The shift from needing more money to understanding how to leverage what you have, now that is when everything changes. So, why does $10,000 feel like $1 million at first? Because it's not just about the money. It's about what it represents. It's about the freedom, the possibility, the excitement. But over time, our brains adapt, and that feeling fades. The key takeaway here? $10,000 is still a huge achievement, but what you do with it is what will truly make the difference. Don't fall into the trap of thinking that more money will solve your problems. Focus on building a strategy, making intentional choices, and using money as a tool to create the life you want. Remember, it's not about hitting a magic number. It's about understanding how to make the numbers work for you. So, the next time you hit a financial milestone, don't just sit back and let the excitement fade. Take a moment to reflect on what it means to you and ask yourself, how can I use this to build the life I truly want? The journey doesn't end with $10,000. It's just the beginning.